All right, guys, so for today's class, we're going to walk through how to make a drawing that you would maybe put in the packaging for assembly, and also show you how to take it to the last part, which is to save it as the proper file so that you can then print it out on the laser printer. So to start with, we haven't set our what material it is first. So that's the first thing we can do is we can just highlight it all, select it, right click on it, and then physical material, we can click on it. Once you've done that, you can see that there's a wide variety of materials. If you click on one of the files, such as wood, it will show you any of the woods, different grains that are available. So plywood finish, there I have plywood finish. That's what we're going to be using. So I just put that on there. Now to make our drawing that we would put in for assembly, we are going to click on design and then design drawing and then from design. Once you do this, what's going to happen is it will have a little create drawing toolbar show up on the side here. We're going to do a full assembly. That means all the parts. We're going to leave all of these things. It's going to be units in millimeters. I mean, you could choose it to inches, but millimeters is what we're using. We're going to use an A4 sheet of paper to do our projected views on here. And we're going to do it landscape way. So we're going to click on the second one at the bottom here, push OK. And then we'll open up a new drawing with everything that we already have created. The first thing that it has is you're going to see your little stool here, and we're going to adjust the settings to be a ratio. Oops, don't know what happened there. We're going to set the don't know what happened. Something. Let's start that again. So again, we went to design drawing from design. We clicked on the A4, the second one, full assembly, okay. And there we go. So we're going to change the scale here to 1 to 5. So it makes it a lot bigger for us to work with. Actually, might be a little bit bigger than that. Let's go 1 to 3, maybe. That makes it pretty good size. Okay, I like that. Let's work with 1 to 3. So we're using the front view. That's fine. We're going to keep all the settings the same here. And then we're going to push OK. And then we're just going to set our actual drawing down here. Click it and put it in place and push OK. Now with this chart on the bottom, I don't really want to use this chart. So I'm going to just click on it and delete it. And then we're going to start adding all the different views of our stool that we've created. So go up to create and then projected view. And then you're going to click on there, and then it's going to show the views if you move around the stool. So I want to have a top view, which is going to be here. I also want to have a side view, which will be down here. Once you're done, push escape, and then you'll have your 3 different views that we're going to be working with. I'm just going to move this up out of the way slightly so that I can put a chart of my choosing at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and dimension it so people know the measurements by clicking on the dimension tool. Little green arrows will show up when you highlight or go hover over top of things. So for example, if I click on the top one and then I click on this one and bring it over, it will tell you the height of our whole stool is 270. I can do the same thing whereby I could click on the top corner here and corner here and then go all the way down, and then you would see that the whole width of everything here is 215 centimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Oh, didn't want to click. If you want to change something, so say I want to move this up, I can move this up a little bit so that there's a little bit more space there. And slide that up. Just grab the little gray squares, and then you can adjust things to where you see fit. I'm also going to show the thickness of the wood. So just by dimensioning, here and here, and I'm going to pull it down so people could see that it lines up below. That is 10 millimeters all the way through 1 centimeter. I might also show the thickness of the leg by clicking on here, and then don't know why this box is there. Oops. There we go. I think that covers most of the things. We might want to show also the dimension of the stool from that. Yes, it is square, 215 in both directions. So we can do that if we so wish. There we have that. And then we don't really need to put any dimensions on here because we can see everything from here. But if there was an angle you didn't see or something on one side, you might want to, you would be able to measure it using a different view if you needed to. I'm going to also show the dimensions or the how wide this is. I'm going to pull that down actually. Oops. A little bit too close. Like so. And I'll show that it's exactly square by doing that. Okay. So there I've got pretty much all the main dimensions that we needed. I mean, I can dimension if I wanted to from the inside here to here so that people knew how wide that was, but I don't really think that's necessary. So I think we got height and width. That's the main things that we need to cover. So the next thing I want to do is grab the table, and down here you can click on the table to fit in the bottom corner. And then once you click on or double click on the table, all the things will show up here. Now I'm going to get rid of the description because as you can see, there's nothing in the description. So I'm just going to click on that and then it will shrink that down. And then table description says up. I'm going to change that to down so that it shows it in the opposite order there. I think that's pretty good. I might see if I can extend this a little bit longer so that I have the materials has more space so that it doesn't fits a little bit nicer in this. And there we go. So we can see here the item, the quantity of how many there are, the name, the part number, okay, or we could change that to part name. I think we can right click, oh maybe we can't, maybe it's just part number, that's fine. And then material is made out of plywood finish. So that you know what is what in an assembly, you see these little numbers that show up here, okay, these little bubbles. Now, I don't really particularly like them to be over here on this one because I feel it's over constrained, too many things on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to delete them. And instead, I'm going to grab the bubble and I'm just going to set it over here so I can see which part it is I am labeling. Okay, so we can see 1, 2, and 3 for the different parts of our stool. The last thing I want to do is just grab the text button, go here, make a text that goes on top of your chart there. And you're just going to write your name just like we did before. So say I'm 1Y, and then, oh, I got to put my number, say I'm 99, and then my name. And then this is D and T. And then the last thing you're going to say, this is our stool, class stool design. Okay. Push enter, and then you can move that around and just make sure it hovers over top, something like that. Oops, you don't want it mixed in there. So just on top like that. Then what you're going to do is you can go to export PDF, all sheets. Yep, we only have one, but you're going to say okay, and then you're going to title it projected view or assembly drawings. It's going to save it. I'm going to save it to my desktop. Fine, perfect. That saves it. I've got my PDF then. I can load that into my folder for our Google Docs. If I go back to my original drawing, back at the tab here where I was before, I want to teach you how to nest this project so that you could print it on the 3D printer. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go to your account, which is their picture, the little circle at the top that might just have your initials. Click on Preferences. And once you click on Preferences, this chart will show up. Click on Preview Features at the very bottom, and then type in the word Arrange. Once you do that, you'll see here I've ticked Arranged, Advanced Arrange. You need to make sure yours is ticked. Then go to Design, and you need to make sure the bottom one here, Enable Arrange and Simplify Tool, is on. Then push Apply, and then OK, and you'll be able to do the arrangement. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to go to the Modify tab here, go down to Arrange, click on it, and then the tab will show up. Because I've highlighted everything ahead of time, it's showing all three parts, the seat, the leg, and the other leg. That's great. It's telling us that this separation of our cuts are going to be by 0.5 centimeter, which is fine. And then the sheet. The sheet here can be on sketch face or plane. You want to make sure it's on plane, and then you should see this axis dimension. If not, just switch back and forth until you can see it, and then you want to grab that plane there. So you select the one you want, and then you need to type in how big is the piece of plywood that we're going to be going and cutting out of, and it's actually 40 by 60 centimeters. Okay. Plane selected. Why is it not? Push, okay, select the plane, surface, sketch, plane, select this plane. So something went wrong there. I don't know what happened. Let's try that again. Arrange, select everything, go to Sheets, click on the plane that I want to work on. $60 by 40. There we go. Now it worked. So remember, X is 60, Y is 40, and then it should align it all on that piece of plywood that you have. Push OK, and then it will set it like this. Next, what we need to do is save it. So we're going to go File, Save As, and we need to save this. Oh, sorry, not save. You can save it, but what I do need to do is export it. So I'm going to click on Export, and I need to export it as a DXF file. Right here, DXF file. And then you're going to label it laser, whatever you want to. Laser print stool, fine. I'm going to export that, and then it should export for us. But where did it export? That's what you might be asking. So next, what we need to do is go over here. It's going to start to do the laser export here. So you're going to have to wait a few minutes until that is done. So once it's done, what will happen is you'll see over on the side here an example of the work. You can click on the version that you have here, I believe on the bottom corner, oops. And then you can even go into it and say view design on the web. Once it views it on the web, you should be able to then click on this button here, and then you're going to click on download. You're going to download a DXF file. And then what's it says? It says this file that we have already saved and named is being exported to DXF format. We will send you an email with a link to the exported file once the process is complete. So that's fine, push OK. And then once you find it in your email, please save it into your Google folder. And that's all you have to do.